You know the exact kind of date I'm talking about. You sit down, the lighting is low, and the polite small talk fades. You're leaning in, laying out the heaviest pieces of your history, the panic attacks, the bad breakup, the parent who left. The person across from you reacts with all the right signals. They are nodding, they make empathetic eye contact. They say the kind things that acknowledge exactly what you've gone through. You walk home feeling a sense of connection, and then nothing. 3 days pass, the silence is absolute. You have been ghosted. The immediate reaction is to turn inward. You replay the entire night in your head, instantly assuming that you shared entirely too much. You convince yourself that your history is too heavy, that you scared them off, or that you are inherently difficult to be with. But the silence isn't necessarily a verdict on your character. You likely triggered a biological pressure system that the other person was not prepared to manage. Identifying these hidden triggers reframes the experience. The failure moves from the realm of personal defects into the realm of mechanical timing errors, shifting how you must handle vulnerability the next time you sit across from a stranger. This balancing scale illustrates a rule of human interaction called the reciprocity norm. When someone shares something with you, you feel a pull to share something back of similar weight. If a coworker mentions a sick pet, you mention your own. The exchange feels better when it is in balance. On a first date, this norm creates a problem. When you share a deep, unresolved trauma, you are placing a heavy weight onto the table. The reciprocity norm fires instantly, creating a pressure for the listener to find an equal match. But after only 2 hours, they often can't match you. They don't have a trauma story of equal weight ready to hand back, or they lack the internal permission to open that door for someone they just met. You likely missed their growing discomfort because your focus was internal. A 2012 Princeton study by neuroscientist Diana Tamir explains why the sharer and the listener have such different memories of the same night. Talking about yourself activates reward regions in the brain, similar to those triggered by food or money. Disclosing personal details provides a chemical reward to the person doing the sharing. Your date is not getting that same chemical hit. While you feel a sense of relief, they feel the pressure of the unmatched reciprocity norm. They are holding a weight they haven't yet built the strength to carry. You walked home feeling seen because of that chemical reward, but the listener often walks away feeling conscripted, trapped by a social debt they didn't ask for and couldn't pay. In 1973, psychologists Altman and Taylor mapped this dynamic in something called social penetration theory. They compared the human psyche to an onion, consisting of concentric layers. Healthy intimacy requires moving through these layers in order. You broaden your coverage of surface topics, like your job or neighborhood, before you move deeper into the core. Ghosting is often the result of skipping these layers. Piercing from the outermost ring straight into the core can feel intrusive rather than intimate. It's the feeling of a stranger opening their chest before you've even learned their middle name. This isn't just about the depth of the topics, it's about the rhythm of the conversation. Psychologist Susan Sprecher studied this by observing pairs of strangers as they shared personal information. The pairs who took short, reciprocal turns reported significantly more liking and closeness. The pairs where one person monologued for a long stretch reported lower levels of connection, even when they shared the exact same information as the first group. These results suggest that connection is built through the synchronized, back-and-forth cadence of the exchange. It isn't determined by how much data you expose, but by how well you keep pace with the other person. We can see a successful version of this pacing in Arthur Aron's famous 36 questions experiment, which has been shown to generate deep closeness between strangers. The effectiveness of these questions lies in their escalating structure, moving from light curiosities to heavy inquiries. Pairs build a wide, load-bearing platform at Tier 1 before ascending, building the trust necessary to hold heavier questions before they arrive. You can use this architectural structure on your next date. Treat the conversation as a staircase you are walking down together, one step at a time. Offer a small disclosure, perhaps an embarrassing story about your week, and then pause. Observe whether your date matches that level of openness. If you move to a more personal level and they respond with surface-level small talk, the rhythm is broken. This is your cue to step back and return to safer, broader topics for a while. When a date fails to match your depth, it doesn't mean they are a bad match. They are simply communicating that they haven't reached that level of comfort with you yet. Lasting intimacy requires the patience to build a strong foundation. Real connection is a synchronized decision made by two people, step by step.